few kilometres. I think I'm going to bump into someone very exciting. Someone who's also travelling through Africa, a little bit further than me and slightly differently to me. Let's see if we can find him. Big ginger beard.
Evening, fellow.
How's it going?
Nice to see you, pal.
Yeah.
Blinding each other. Good run?
Yeah, not bad, not bad.
I can block the road here, guys.
What an absolute weapon. Mate, I haven't ridden a bike in ages. I'm sure I can still ride one.
Go on, show what you got. That's slightly concerning.
Fucking hell.
How's that?
Easier to run. Mate, it's a bit wobbly. Sweet. Alright, let's do it. See you in a bit.
How do you normally find the first few K?
Oh, mate, first few K are normally alright because it's, well, I mean, it also it depends. If my body's fucked, then the first few K are often like the worst.
Right, yeah.
Because it's just like getting into it, like you really have to try and get into the rhythm.
Yeah.
But also, start of the day, it's generally not as hot.
Yeah.
So, can't complain too much.
That's really nice temperature right now, isn't it?
Yeah, it's beautiful, isn't it?
You had to like jump out the road a few times.
Yeah, I normally
traffic.
run on the other side of it.
Do you?
Right. So I can see what I'm dealing with. Do you cycle with traffic or against it?
With. I've got a little mirror here, which is like honestly one of my favourite things I've bought.
Yeah.
See what's coming, see if they're about to run me over or not.
These like drive some of them so erratically.
Yeah.
Like they will. I feel like they would just run me over.
Yeah. Yeah, it's the number of like burnt out cars you see or cars down ravines. Makes you worry. Have you found that like as your trip's gone on, more locals have known who you are? And like
Depends what country, like.
Right.
Generally now, like especially if French speaking or non-English speaking countries, they don't really have a clue who I am. In like Namibia, people really started to catch wind of who I was.
Yeah.
And like Angola.
Yeah.
But then, and like a little bit in Ghana as well. But outside of those countries, not really at all.
Sure. I guess Angola. the president heard about you.
Yeah. Yeah.
How much of an impact does it have on you whether you've got asphalt or dirt?
Oh, mate, the tarmac's a lot better.
Yeah?
A lot smoother. Well, I think normally the dirt roads are also kind of a sign of like we're in some mountainous region.
Yeah.
So by default, there's a lot of incline as well.
Yeah.
Mate, when there's tarmac, like my mind can very easily just wander off. But when it's like when I actually have to look and concentrate where I'm putting my feet, and it can be like a long day if it's 8 hours or 10 hours of just constantly looking where I'm putting my feet.
Yeah. Well, we've got some coming up.
It's a bit draining.
Where does your mind wander? Is there like you think about the day, you think about home, you think about food?
I think about the future a lot.
Yeah.
I'm a bit of a schemer, so I'm always scheming things.
Yeah.
Scheming up stuff.
Yeah. That's nice though to have that headspace.
Yeah.
Got to do that.
What about you?
Yeah. Do you know what? Future as well. Because it's kind of a funny thing. You spend so long planning these trips, and when you get on them, you start thinking about what's next.
Yeah.
I guess like coming away, you get to like reassess what's back home.
Yeah.
And particularly more than anything, like what I miss. There've been very few things where I'm like, oh, definitely don't want to do that anymore.
Yeah.
It's much more like, oh, I miss this person, or I want more of that in my life.
Yeah. It's kind of hard to think about that in the middle of like the rat race or something, don't you know what I mean? I don't think, I think one of the biggest blessings is so much time to reflect and kind of strategically analyse what is what is enjoyable, what's not enjoyable, what do you want to do, what do you not want to do.
Yeah, well, you were talking yesterday about the attention economy, right? And how we're all glued to our phones, and that's kind of part of the problem, is that we don't give ourselves headspace back home much. It's like this really rare thing that like you need to like make special time to do.
Yeah.
Because every like waking second is filled with something.
Yeah.
And I think about that, and I just it's like curse of the smartphone, and how on my last trip I didn't have a smartphone until 2012, and it barely come out. And I was like, I think I felt like maybe a bigger sense of peace on that trip.
Yeah.
And more connected to where I was.
Yeah.
Whereas here, like, I sit down in a break, and I'm so likely, like 9 times out of 10, I've got my phone out.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I wonder, like, oh, am I like losing something from this trip as a result of that? What's been like the most scenic country the land has been to?
Honestly, the border with Cameroon and Nigeria was pretty special, man.
Yeah. That's the one where you have to ship the van because the roads are so bad.
Yeah. But it was so rural. It was like I had no idea how like beautiful that was going to be.
Yeah.
Like lots of mountains, lots of volcanoes and stuff. Also like very green.
Yeah.
Yeah, that was pretty cool.
I'm hoping for some of that in Nigeria. Not so much volcanoes, but really in like jungle.
Yeah.
You know when you get that mix of red dirt track, green plants, blue sky?
Yeah.
Oh man, that for me, that's what I love about, well, I've only been in West Africa. I love it.
Yeah. Yeah, no, we've had some of that in Guinea as well, and that's
Yeah.
especially like chuck a nice sunset in there as well. Absolutely laughing. And now mate, it's great to see you.
Yeah,
it's always good to bump into an old British person.
Yeah.
Makes me feel like I'm at home for 5 minutes.
Yeah. Say goodbye, pal. Mate, wicked, absolute pleasure.
Nice
Wish you all
one.
the best,
And you, man.
Keep fucking running.
Take it easy.
And I'll be watching closely.
Yeah. We'll link back in the UK, I'm sure.
Real pleasure, Russ.
Nice one, mate.
You take care, pal. Bye-bye. What a joy. What a joy. Really, really could have cycled next to Russ for a long time. It's incredible. Obviously his running is very inspiring. The behind the scenes story is also really, really inspiring. I won't give away any numbers because it's not my story to tell, but in short, the guys who started on the trip, Russ and some of the team, funded it themselves initially, got people on board, but by the time they got to South Africa, they had well under 10% of all the money they needed for the whole trip. But they just thought, if we start talking about it, start sharing it, putting it out there, we'll find a way, we'll get people on board, and they did. And for me, that is really, really inspiring. Incredible story of how they got going, picked up sponsors along the way. Yeah, definitely something to take from that. Right, I need to go to Sierra Leone. It's a bit dodgy with my visa situation, but let's see what happens.
Coming up on Alone Across Africa, I find more crazy Europeans running ultramarathons to raise money for good causes, crash a wedding in Guinea, learn how a group of Dutch doctors are saving lives in rural Sierra Leone, get robbed in the jungle by an armed man, and fight my way past dodgy bridges to get out of the toughest jungle yet.